Okay, so I'm just going to read something real quick for you that I think you're going to recall. It goes a little something like this. You people love that come here, whatever. You love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you can pay a couple bucks for a poppy or something like that. Right. These guys paid for your way of life you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price. I have a feeling you know exactly where that came from. And that's what this episode is all about.
Welcome back to another episode of Life Stripes with Kathy and Duke. Now, today's topic is a very, very interesting one.
It's a doozy.
I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you've heard it. You've seen it on social media. You've read it in the news. You've heard your friends talking about it. You've heard immigrants talk about it.
Yeah, and you're talking about it. We know you're talking about it.
Mm-hmm. And I say immigrants for a reason.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don Cherry.
Wow.
Hi, Don.
Oh, Don. Oh, Don.
We're talking to you today, Don. And I know my audience is watching.
Yes.
And I want you to continue watching it. And please weigh in with your comments and your feedback and what you think as well on this topic.
Yeah.
But Don Cherry, do you agree with Don Cherry? Yes or no? Some people do agree. And let's face it, there's Don supporters. Yeah. You know, I've heard rumors that people are going to picket at Rogers.
And people are also losing Facebook friends over this.
People are boycotting. People are saying if Don doesn't get fired, or if he didn't get fired, that they would stop watching Sportsnet and stuff like that. You know, so there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, emotions are running very, very high. Very high. Now, to wear the poppy or not to wear the poppy, I mean, that's the big issue here. Right. At the end of the day, that's how it started, and we understand because we're trying to play both sides of the fence to a degree, where it's about the poppy. He tried to make it about the poppy. Unfortunately, it went south, but
of course,
to wear or not to wear, I don't know. Like I didn't wear it, but that doesn't mean I forgot. Yeah, and I wasn't thinking about the day and all that came with that.
And to be honest with you, I don't think that everybody necessarily needs to wear the poppy to welcome the memories.
Yeah, commemorate it.
Commemorate the memories of World War I, II, Iraq, whatever, war that has affected them and their family or their lives.
I'm going to go as far, I'm sorry, but I have to say this, slavery, it really, let's get right down to it. Okay, there are a lot of people that suffered to make this country the way it is.
Oh, for sure.
And countries all over the world.
That's for sure. We can talk about slavery forever. Maybe every episode, but yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, like, come on, not everybody has enjoyed the milk and honey to make this country great.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right? So, I mean, Don's talking about milk and honey and, you people coming to this country, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you say words like that, come on, you're talking about a certain group of individuals that have come to this country. So I heard you, Don, say that, well, you didn't really mean everybody and stuff like that, or a certain group.
You meant the people that didn't wear the poppy, right?
Right.
That's where he was alluding to, and I get it, but that's what he said.
But yeah, you when you said that you come here and you love our way of life, then you're definitely talking about people who were not born in Canada.
That's right.
That's what that statement means, Don. So I don't know how you're trying to sugarcoat it.
You can't. And I'm going to also point out, because in doing some of our homework for this particular episode, we found that Don's maternal grandfather, I believe, so his mother's father, was actually born in England. And he was an orphan brought to Canada. So, I mean, you too come from immigrant heritage, Don. Right. So it's just fascinating how convenient people forget when they're spewing off at the mouth and not thinking.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not the first time that Don has said something where he wasn't thinking. I mean, I just want to put it out there that, I mean, you talk about women. Yeah. You talk about French. You talk about Europeans, right? So there's been a history of Don doing this, right? That dates back to 20 years ago.
And you know what, though? Right? I think that we've also come to accept Don as a personality.
Yes.
Okay? And you know, he's an entertainer.
Right.
And I respect it. I get it. I understand the business, and I understand that you have to be this character. And, you know, you're the guy that... It's almost like he's the Joan Rivers. You know, Joan Rivers is fashion, you know, rest her soul. But, you know, he is like the Joan Rivers in sports world.
Right.
You know, in the sense of just saying whatever comes off the top of your head. And yes, it's a little bit offensive. You know, you sort of teeter that line.
Right.
But... unfortunately, we are at a different place in this world where you have to be so careful of how you speak to people, at people.
Well, especially when you're on that type of platform, right? And you got many different diversities that are watching
and they do respect him as much as he's, you know, a little off the cuff or a lot off the cuff. People still respected the fact that he was a character. Yes. Okay, and we chalked it up to he's a character. He's Don Cherry.
But I mean, let's face it, the world that we know it has changed.
Yes.
Right? And I won't deny it.
Yeah.
We are a little bit more sensitive.
We're a lot more sensitive.
Right? We are a little bit more, and we're a lot more sensitive when it comes to certain things that are being said, especially on TV, in the media, social media, whatever, right? And because cameras are everywhere. So whatever you say, it's being caught.
Everything everywhere is being caught.
And sometimes people take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
However, I don't think people took this one the wrong way. A lot of people are supporting, I don't think Don should have been fired.
They don't think that he should be fired because it's Don.
Right.
And so we're allowing the it's Don to become the excuse for saying, well... he said worse things.
Right,
and it's like, well, yeah, he probably should have been let go a long time ago. But because he's a personality and we got that point, I think that's why he's stayed around for so long, because he was offensively funny sometimes. You know, offensive nonetheless, but still offensively funny to some people.
Now, I'm not going to discredit you, Don. I mean, you've done a great job with your commentary for hockey for so many years.
Absolutely.
Right? So, I mean, have you said some questionable things? 100%. I think a lot of people have. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But at this point, I think you've gone a bit too far, and now the milk is spoiled and the honey's crystallized now, so it's not even...
Wow, I love that though. That was good. That was good.
It's not even pouring out of the cup anymore.
No, anymore. It's done. It's a done deal, obviously. And it's sad. It really is sad. You know, like he was, I'm going to say, a hockey icon. Yeah. You know, and it's a sad way to end such... I would say an amazing career. You know, it really was. I mean, whether we enjoyed watching him or not, it was still a fabulous career.
Run. Yeah, he's had a great run.
Yeah,
and God, he's 85.
I know.
He's not hurting. He's not hurting.
Yeah, and I'm sure someone else will pick him up. And I heard that I don't
Fox?
know. No, I heard Russians.
Really?
Did I hear that right? I heard that they want him. Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But the ironic part though is you got let go on Remembrance Day. So
I know. We're going to remember this.
Something to remember.
Remember? You're so bad. Oh my God.
Just saying.
But it's true. Yes.
Saying.
Yeah. And you know what? The temperature of sensitivity, just to go back to that, is so high, I think, on so many levels for so many different reasons. You know, I am not a Trump supporter. I'm just going to say that. Put it out there. And I think with the day of Trump, with the day of, you know, the cops and all the craziness that's been going on or is going on, especially in the States, you know, it is, I guess, here too, but mostly in the States.
For sure.
Emotions are so high that you being in your position, in his position, him being in his position, you are watched and revered by so many. And when you say certain things, or when people say, let's just generalize this, when you say certain things out loud in front of a massive audience, there are people who don't get they're not digging deep enough to really understand that you may not have meant to offend people, or I'm going to say he, because we're not talking to Don. We hope we're talking to Don. But, you know, that there's a lot of people that may not understand that he may not be a racist. Okay. And I don't necessarily believe that he is. I definitely don't believe that he is. I have no reason to believe that he is, but he just made a stupid comment, and it hurt a lot of people because there is such emotion right now in at this particular time because of the other things that are happening in this world.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, Don was cut from a different cloth, right? I mean, Don is 85. He grew up in a totally different era.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where that was okay.
It wasn't okay. No, it's just people didn't speak out as much about it.
People said it. It's just that it didn't go as far because you didn't have cell phones and
that's true.
Computers and stuff like that, and social media when these things were being said way back then. So it was just more accepted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And people didn't look at it. It was like, oh, he's only talking about those people, so who cares?
Yeah.
But now you're looking at a country that is so diverse.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You've got so many people in sports,
yeah.
In hockey now.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to a hockey game and seeing at least 2 black people on a team.
Yeah.
20 years ago, you wouldn't have saw that.
Yeah. That's true.
Right?
That's
and I'm talking about hockey.
Yeah.
That is probably the sport that is probably held on to trying to not be as diverse.
It's diverse. You're true.
And I'm sorry if people are offended by me saying that, but it's facts.
It's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Like I said, the milk is spoiled.
Yeah. Honey's crystallized.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no other way to say it. You are so bang on. Oh my goodness. Now, we have to talk about
Yes,
this.
you do.
Jessica Allen. Okay, Miss Jessica from The Social, host of The Social, one of the hosts. Her comments, really, honey, why would you do this to yourself? You know, her comment went a little something like this, that she did not worship at the altar of hockey. Okay, neither did I, but the comments that came next are what really shocked me. She says that most of the guys that played hockey, all tended to be white boys who weren't, let's say, very nice. And they were not generally thoughtful. They were often bullies. Wow. That is such a sweeping generalization.
Yeah.
And I know that she says that they were not generally thoughtful. The boys, these were people that she knew, and it's obviously a personal experience.
Right.
But when you on a public forum say something like that, you have to expect the backlash is going to come with it. I know plenty of families who have white boys who play hockey, and they are not bullies. The families are amazing people. Yeah. So no, you cannot just spew that.
You can't.
I think that you're going to get, everyone's going to be like, yeah, you're right. No, you're not right. Jessica, you're not right. No. I'm just letting you know you were wrong. You should never have said anything like that.
And again, you're on a platform where millions of people are watching. Yeah. And if you feel that way, I get it. I'm not going to tell you to take back what you feel, but then you've got to now do some soul searching and say, hey, okay, maybe I've encountered these people. But I can't speak for everybody who's put their kids through hockey.
That's right. It's not. That is so not true.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've played hockey. I'm not a bully.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just kidding.
You know? But I'm not saying, like, honestly, like, I've been privileged to do a lot of sports when I was growing up, right? So swimming, soccer, lacrosse, football.
Yeah.
I've camping, stuff like that. So I've been blessed to do all of those things. Yeah, I've done all of those things.
No camping.
Right? I know how to swim, and I'm Caribbean, yes.
I don't, and I'm Caribbean. This makes more sense.
You know what I mean? I went to swimming lessons. I went to hockey lessons. I know how to skate.
Right.
I've done all those things. So it's like, how could you say that?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, are there certain people that you grew up with that maybe treated you that way?
Yeah.
Sure. Right? But it's not everybody.
No, it's definitely not everybody, and it's just wrong. I just don't like generalization type statements because you can't cut everybody by the same cloth. And yes, you may have had your experiences, but that does not mean you put it out there like it's gospel. Yes. It's just not. Right?
It's not. And again, I mean, with Jessica saying that, I'm pretty sure Dawn is like, yes.
Oh well, of course.
Take the attention off of me. You're right. Yes. But I mean that's what happens. I mean, people just say some stupid things, and I mean, it's not going to stop. Somebody else is going to slip up, right, and think nobody's watching. Yes. But come on, let's face it. With the power of social media and all the streamings that happen, and people are recording every day, and you could just be saying it to your friend, and maybe they're silently recording you, and who knows, like. You just got to be careful of what you say. And I'm not saying that freedom of speech doesn't exist. It still exists, but it comes with consequences if you say something that's, let me just say it, stupid.
Done.
Right? So be careful. And if you want to speak your truth, speak your truth. One thing I'll say, I do respect Don Cherry for this. When he said that he could have kept his job, but all he would have to do is maybe apologize or say something, and he said, no, that would not be me.
Yeah.
I believe what I believe, and these are my beliefs. I respect you, Don, for that.
Fair.
Because I'd rather know what you're really thinking.
Yes. Know what we're dealing with.
Yeah. For you to come back and say, no, I didn't really mean that. And
it would have been a bullshit apology
exactly,
anyway.
Exactly. And that's one thing I hate to see is when people, have that bullshit apology and then, they keep their job.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that was very big. That was a huge discussion. And I also just find it interesting that some people say that he stepped down. And it's like, well, no, actually, you didn't step down. Right. And maybe you stepped down because they begged you to apologize and you said, no, therefore I'm okay with leaving.
Right.
But at the end of the day, honey, you were fired. OK. And it comes with a very different connotation. And I think that people are relishing in the fact that he was fired because he has taken it too far. So then you try to almost diminish the effect of what you did by saying, he stepped down. You didn't step down. So I'm just putting that out there.
So let me ask, and I'm going to ask the audience a question. Do you think his co-host should have said something? Right?
So that goes on both levels because Jessica's co-host, I don't believe, said anything either.
Right. But they're giving him a hard time saying he should have said something too.
I know.
Right?
And don't get me wrong, because I only saw Jessica's clip. Right. My bad. So if they did say something, I apologize for my comment, but I apologize. Okay, I apologize. Yeah. But if they didn't, then they should have. And so it goes both ways. If you're sitting with someone, like if you say some craziness, I'm going to be like, well, just because I'm sitting there doesn't mean I've lost my mind, and I'm listening to craziness or, his co-host. So yes, I think that he absolutely should have said something to Dawn, or he should have made a comment.
Well, I mean, he did say something at the end. It wasn't words, but it was
yeah, or he said something like "love you for it," but I don't think that he was talking about the quote. I think he was talking about whatever they were talking about previously.
But that rant was pretty long. So when he said "love you for it," it's like, okay, love you for what?
Yeah.
And the big thumbs up. So I don't know. I mean,
well, it's because he was talking about the just wearing the poppy and being so patriotic and all that stuff.
Okay,
I think that's
so he loves him for the passion.
He loves right.
Okay, makes sense.
Right.
Okay,
which we can respect.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I can respect that. I don't know. I was still questioning the thumbs up, but hey. Yeah, I don't know.
It just the optics weren't
and then good. and then his apology for it.
Ron, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that was really sincere. Again, is that something that they coerced him to do or something? I don't know.
Well, I think that once the backlash came, he's not clearly a stupid man. So you apologize, and you apologize quick.
Yeah.
So.
But again, does it go back? It goes back to saying, was it genuine?
That will probably never know.
Yeah,
we'll probably never know that.
Yeah.
So I mean, will Dawn and him be friends again? Probably not, because Dawn will be like, "You asshole! Like, why'd you do that?"
I mean, I know Dawn said he was disappointed, right? But he says they'll still be friends and whatnot. So hey,
we'll see.
I mean, like I said, Dawn's not hurting.
I know Dawn's not hurting, right? Yeah, not at all. Can I have some money?
He's good, right?
I think he'll be just fine. Feelings are hurt, but this too shall kind of sort of pass.
Yeah.
Because we get pretty used to this kind of madness, and then it kind of dies down. Everybody's, we've proven. I think the point has been proven that you really just can't get on air, and you can't really go in any public forum and
say anything you want.
Yeah, without people then saying stuff back to you.
Well, for sure. It comes with the territory, right? Yeah. You gotta be mindful of what you're saying. We could be saying something right now, and somebody's like, they don't like how we said that, or they don't like that we spoke about Dawn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually reading a book right now, and it's called, I'm pretty much finished the book, Talking with Strangers. With Strangers, but Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah.
So good. And it really does talk to all of this, really and truly. So if you haven't read the book, this is a plug for Malcolm Gladwell's book, I know, but I'm just saying that it really speaks to the fact that you don't know how the words you say truly affect people.
Yeah.
And how damaging they can be to people's spirits, how it can alter lives. And, for Dawn to say the things that he did, and even for Jessica to say the things that she said, I think that there are a lot of people they're so disappointed, people that might have looked up to either of them, and so disappointed that they're almost their heroes, or, people that they admired, have pretty much reduced themselves to this. And it's disappointing, because you're talking to strangers. Ultimately, when you're talking into that lens, you are talking to people that you don't know. And so it's about respect, and it's about love always, because, this is what we're trying to spread, I hope.
Yes.
Whether you wore a poppy or not, whether you encountered bullies who played hockey, it's still about love, because you're not speaking directly to that bully. Right? And you can say you were a jerk or whatever, but when you're talking to a massive audience, it has to still be about love.
100%.
I think so.
That's the message. Spread the love, everybody.
Spread the love.
Right? And don't hate. And if you have milk and honey, just don't let it curdle up.
Or crystallize. I'm loving that. We gotta license that or something like that. We gotta trademark that line. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode
of Life Strives with Kathy and Duke.